Hello, my littles. You know how much I love butterflies, right? Well, in the springtime, that's when caterpillars turn into butterflies through the process of metamorphosis. So, because some people are going to be able to see my videos on YouTube, I decided to read some of my favorite books to you so that everybody in our class has the option to see some of my favorite books. This one's called Butterflies by Tori Casara, and it's a Scholastic published book. You know, when I tell you I go home and I sit on my chair, I decided to sit right in my chair so that you know exactly where I like to sit when I come home and take a nap. The first page is called the title page. This book was written in 2013. Have you ever seen a butterfly where you live? Butterflies are flying insects that are often... Look, I need to start over. Butterflies are flying insects that often have beautifully colored wings. They can be found in many places around the world, but most species live in warm tropical areas such as rainforests. See, the word species is in bold. It means it's darker because it's an important word. And usually when there's a bold word, the definition will be in the glossary at the end of the book. I'm going to show you the page and then I'll read it. Butterflies begin their lives as eggs. So that's how it starts. Often the eggs are laid on a leaf. It can take anywhere between a few days to 3 weeks for a butterfly egg to hatch. So they're very, very tiny. When the egg hatches, a tiny larva emerges. A butterfly larva is also called a caterpillar. The caterpillar eats and eats, just like the very hungry caterpillar, growing so big that it may shed its skin up to 6 times. Look how gross that is. And the word larva is in bold, so it's an important word. Most caterpillars are herbivores. They munch on leaves and flowers. How do you think caterpillars move? So I want you to think for a minute. I am thinking. How do caterpillars move? How do caterpillars move? After about 4 weeks, the caterpillar spins a layer of silk called a cocoon around itself. Once it has created the cocoon, the caterpillar becomes a pupa or a chrysalis. Here it is right here. It's so cool. Inside, the caterpillar slowly transforms into a butterfly. This process is known as metamorphosis. It's a really long word. Where do caterpillars build their cocoons? The caterpillar stays in the chrysalis for up to 15 days. Finally, a beautiful butterfly emerges. I put a video of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly on my Google Slides on Thursday, or was it Friday? So you can always, if you have YouTube, you could just Google caterpillar turning into a butterfly. This right here is called the proboscis. It's like when you drink from a straw when you're drinking out of a cup. Butterflies drink the nectar from flowers using a proboscis. Some butterflies sip liquids from fruit. So it's like a straw. At night or during bad weather, butterflies hang from the undersides of leaves. They may also hide between rocks or in other safe places. Where else do you think a butterfly might take shelter during a storm? Where would be another good spot? Blurt. Tell someone at home. All right, let's see what happens on the next page. The scaly wings of a butterfly can be many beautiful colors, such as blue, yellow, or orange. These colorful scales can act as camouflage. They can also warn away enemies, so they camouflage or become the same kind of color as their background. Why do you think butterflies need to hide from their enemies? Maybe so they don't get eaten. That's a pretty one. Because they are cold-blooded, butterflies often warm themselves in the sun until they are ready to fly. We're warm-blooded, so our body temperature adjusts, but cold-blooded animals have to warm themselves in the sun so that at night their body temperature stays on the warmer side so that they can stay alive. What do you do when you're cold? I know what I do. Take one of my favorite blankets and I put it right on, or a sweatshirt. Monarch butterflies, let me show it up close because this is a very common, popular butterfly. Monarch butterflies have orange and black wings. Male monarchs have an extra dark spot on the back of their wings, right here. Female monarchs do not have this spot. Hey, I didn't know that. Maybe I knew it and I forgot. Can you tell which of these monarch butterflies is the male and which is the female? Remember, the male has a dark spot. So it's this one right here. And this one's the female. The largest butterfly in the world is the Queen Alexandra's birdwing, which has a wingspan of up to 1 foot. 1 foot. 1 foot is about that big? Oh my goodness, I would love to see a butterfly that big. This is the pygmy blue butterfly. It is the smallest butterfly in the world. This tiny butterfly measures only 0.62 inches, which is 1.5 centimeters from wing to wing. So an inch is about this big. So it's even a little smaller. Butterflies help pollinate flowers just like bees do. There are 20,000 types of butterflies on the planet, and each one is important. Remember, I told you at the end there would be a glossary, and that's usually where the bold words are defined. So when you're reading a book and you see a bold word, you could always go to the glossary when you're on that page to define the word, so you know it'll help you understand what you're reading more about. So camouflage means that you're hiding something to cover up or change the way it looks. Like a butterfly uses camouflage if it's on a tree or on a flower so that predators can't get it. Cold-blooded, an animal whose body temperature is not regulated internally or inside, but which responds to the environment. A herbivore is a plant-eating animal, so butterflies only eat plants. Larva, a young wingless form that hatches from the egg of many insects. So it's not just a caterpillar that turns into a larva. There's other insects that do that. That is called a larva as well. Just like metamorphosis, that whole change of a life cycle is called metamorphosis. The change of form and habits of an animal that takes place during the transformation of the animal from an immature to an adult stage. Pollinate. the movement of pollen from one part of a plant to another, which allows the plant to produce a seed. And that's what bees and butterflies do. Proboscis, a long tube-shaped part of an insect's body that is used to suck food. Pupa, the stage of an insect's life that occurs between larva and adult. And the last one is species, a class of animals that have the same features and name, like the butterflies. I have more books that I'm going to read about butterflies so that you can learn about my favorite insect.